Selflessness and justice feel right. In Ecclesiastes 3 we read, I saw something else under the sun. In the place of judgment, wickedness was there. In the place of justice, wickedness was there. We know, don't we, that these things are wrong. But, you don't have to teach a toddler to say no or throw a tantrum. But the question comes, if there's no God, why do we try and change that? You see, we don't consider it wrongs for dogs to bark or lions to attack. And human beings lead much of their lives making selfish decisions, arguing with each other, regularly going to war as we've seen in recent years. So why do we still think that's all unacceptable? Why don't we just say, it's what human animals do? If there is no God, we would have to say we've simply evolved to be selfish. And that this is in some sense right and so good, a product of an unguided evolution. And so the natural way things are meant to be for our species to actually flourish. But this just doesn't fit, does it, with how we feel? More than that, if there is no God, how can we even decide what is good or bad? Everything is just what each human being as a cluster of atoms prefers or doesn't prefer. So there's no real justice. We can never say anything is actually right or wrong and that it should therefore be rewarded or punished. We can only say that if there is a God who made us to live a certain way, that's required for there to be morality and justice. Now, many who don't believe in a God respond that good is what the individual chooses, what makes most people happy, or what a particular nation decides it is. But who gets to decide that? What if a mass of people say something different? How can they be said to be wrong? Think of the Nazis. They thought it was good to exterminate millions of Jews and others to make their nation great. Well, look, if there's no God, there's a sense in which that's no better or worse than one pack of wolves choosing to hunt down a particular herd of deer. It's just what human animals do. Philosophers have actually always seen this. Jean-Paul Sartre wrote this. He said, we find it extremely embarrassing that God does not exist, for there disappears with him all possibility of finding values in an intelligible heaven. The problem with this is that those who say there is no God don't act as if it is true, as if there is no morality or justice. They live as if selflessness and justice are good, as if there really is right and wrong. But can you see that's to be wholly inconsistent? If you say you don't believe in legs, but use yours to get around anyway, maybe you've got your beliefs wrong. And so once again, what we're seeing is this. We're learning that belief in God better fits what we know and feel deep down than belief that God doesn't exist. More than that, we're seeing our instincts point to him being a good and a moral and a just God. That's such good news as we look on our world.